Today, we're going to be talking about this ball, whose debut appearance was in Pixar's first animated video titled Luxor Jr. in 1986, for a total screen time of less than 1 minute. See, the reason why this ball is so important is because it quietly changed a generation. You might think you know this ball, but how much do you really know? And how much do you think it's impacted the way you watch movies without you even thinking about it? Off the top of your head, you've seen this ball tons of times. Most people think of Toy Story when they see this ball. I know I do. But what most people don't realize, including myself until I went back and watched it, was that it was barely in Toy Story at all. That's it. The thing is, you remember it not because it had a lengthy screen time, but because it communicated without speaking. It had invisible qualities, and those invisible qualities are what drew you in. Here are a couple of examples about how that might happen. When you think of the Pixar ball, what do you think of? Do you think of its shape? Its color? No. You think of your childhood. You think about trust and play, and how someone clearly cared when they made this. And as another example that's not the Pixar ball, what about Pride Rock? Do you think its location? Do you think about the way it looks? Or do you think about its steadfastness and hope? Because throughout the seasons, the changes, the murder, it held fast in hope and accepted the world that was thrown at it. And lastly, it's not just a Disney or Pixar thing. The Ring. Nope. The Ring, when you think about it, do you think about how it's disgustingly patient, manipulative, and wicked? How after all its journeys and failures, it never gave up and it never changed its ways. It fell further and further into evil. Or do you think about how one small hobbit was able to work hard and destroy it forever? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 invisible qualities that allowed you to remember a ball and other objects like it with less than 5 seconds of screen time. And who knows, maybe next time you recognize an object from a story, you can think of the qualities it has and the impact it had on you. By the way, I'm Mr. Parable. I've been deep diving into story for around 7 years now, and I have 320 beautiful subscribers, though you could be the next one, and I basically think about this stuff all day. Okay, let's dive into it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. The first invisible quality, the invisible quality of temptation. Temptation is when someone is lured and enticed by their own desires, which, if followed through, will ultimately lead to their downfall. This is important because with objects like the Ring, temptation is very obvious. But what about the Pixar ball? The Pixar ball could bring you to a temptation of childhood, and you may be tempted to go back and cling too much to your childhood and forget your adult responsibility. Because you remember that when you were a child, you spoke like a child, you thought like a child, and reasoned like a child. But when you became an adult, you gave up childish things. And this is a necessary and good thing. However, it could also bring you to the temptation of guardedness, to abandon your childlike qualities and lose your joy. Now, this invisible quality is good, but if it doesn't have this next point, then it falls flat. Invisible quality number 2, thoughtfulness. Thoughtfulness is not just looking at your own interests, but the interests of others. This is important because we all want someone to be thinking about us at some time. Hearing words like legacy, empire, inheritance, all of this comes to mind. You might want to be thought about when a promotion comes up at work, or when your birthday comes up. And without getting too much into the weeds, there's a psychologist named Eric Erickson who believes that one of the first qualities we learn as a newborn is trust versus mistrust. That whenever we cry out, someone will be there to take care of us. How does this fit into the Pixar ball? Well, like mentioned before, this ball is everywhere. You can actually count on seeing it when you see a Pixar movie. You know it's going to be there. And the reason that you like that is because you know that when the 3D animators and screenwriters were putting this movie together, they were thinking of you. This actually brings us to our next point, which really brings all of this together. Invisible quality number 3, reliability. Reliability is being a consistent and faithful steward of what you've been given, and that your yeses are yeses and your nos are nos. This is important because it builds trust. Can you rely on your job to have your back? Are you reliable when you say you're going to hang out with someone? Is your credit score 850? No, I'm just kidding. Are you a person of your word? The Pixar ball is, if anything else, reliable. You know it's going to be there. You know it's going to fill you with something when you see it on screen. Is it because of the animators? Well, yes. But there's a childlike part of you that believes that it would make its way into the film somehow or another, even if it wasn't explicitly placed there. In summary, you remember the Pixar ball not because of its lengthy screen time, but because of its invisible qualities. The temptation of childhood non-responsibilities, the thoughtfulness of the writers for you specifically, and the reliability of consistency with between all the chaos and change of your life. And these qualities impacted the way a whole generation watches movies and sees story, even though it was only on screen for less than 5 seconds. So share this with someone who you think would benefit from understanding why they get all nostalgic when they see the Pixar Ball. And be sure to comment what you think are some invisible qualities of the Pixar Ball, or really any object in a movie that you've always enjoyed. Or maybe comment why you think the Pixar Ball has had such an impact on a whole generation of people. Also, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and here's a special thanks to my new subscribers from the last video. Bye!